Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance. In this resistance video, sponsored by contribution from Anonymous. And here's his story. Hey Ollie, as you know, I've been watching your channel for a long time, and you always have a particular insight that a lot of people don't have. I look forward to your videos each time they are posted to YouTube. You and I have had quite a few discussions, and during the last several years, I found much higher degree of peace and quiet from interacting with the narcissism awareness community online. Just knowing what the narcissist is and what they do are big steps in the right directions. Then, with time and knowledge and support by watching yours and others' channels, things can actually get reasonably sane and productive. Also, as you know, I was born to a severe narcopath mother, and as we know, she continues to get worse and worse. Saying the strangest things, always trying to manipulate, gaslight, and destroy my sense of reality. That alone is hard to deal with, so going no contact would be best. But as a narc can be, going completely no contact is not always an option, as they will go behind your back or even in front of your back to do mean and nasty things, like cohorting with your enemies. And act surprised when you get angry with them. Same goes with the ex-narc bitch I was married to. I am as no or low contact as I can get because we still have a minor child between us. Our oldest son is now 22, which this letter is about. She still tries to manipulate when she thinks she can get a chance in edgewise, but she is not nearly as smart as the older feminarchs in my life. Hopefully I will be full no contact by the time that happens. However, today is a sad day, and what I'm writing about to you is about my oldest son. He displays all the characteristics of a narcissist. He is an adult now, and I feel I have done all I can do to help him. But no matter what I've done, it's never enough, and never enough to earn his respect. And that's probably because your ex-wife's been telling you you ain't shit since you've been separated from her. It's very hard to gain your child's respect after a divorce. Okay, when your ex sits there constantly badmouths you and tells your kid that you ain't shit. A little bit of background. Oh, wait a minute. He's an adult now, and I feel all I can do is help him, but no matter what I've done, it's never enough to earn his respect. As a father, the only thing a son has to offer is respect. A little bit of background. For the last several years, and just out of high school, he got into a lot of trouble. Some dumb mistakes, other severe lapses of judgment. He has been to several treatment centers and been incarcerated several times. And he's only 22. I have been patient in the face of this for the whole time, but I don't think I can take interacting with him anymore. I don't want to make myself out to be a no-problem kid at this age because I pulled my fair share of antics and nonsense. It's just as if what I say goes in one ear and out the other, and not like normal kid stuff. He's adept at taking my words and weaponizing them against me. Well, I wonder where he picked that up from. He can take a helping hand and turn it around into something that should just be given to him. I have put money and as much money as I can afford towards getting him onto his feet, as all young adults need. Now I want to add that my parents, mother and father, both have been generous with money to me in my early adult years and even later. And this is the problem. Unlike my sociopathic mother and nearly disinterested, now deceased 15 years ago, father, I have tried to pay particular attention to my son, offering the best advice I can give. Painstakingly coming up with plans and solutions for him, but nothing seems to work. Always trying to be the best dad I can be, never missing a beat. Never missing a soccer game or a parent-teacher conference when he was younger. Never belittling him, never abusing or yelling at him. Of course, we all have a moment here and there, but you get the point. I have tried to encourage him and build his self-esteem. but he just seems to go his own path without thought of what I've tried to teach him. Again, this isn't usual kid stuff. It's downright malicious sometimes, like he could give a fuck if I was alive or dead. Now the second part of this problem. That's exactly how I feel about my mother, because I honestly hate her guts for what she has done to me. So how can I have a problem with his actions toward me if I have the same attitude towards my own mother? Well, I paid particular attention not to treat him the way I've been treated, but it is to no avail. I kind of wished I had just treated him the way my father treated me. Not nice, not mean, just kind of there. I always watched and knew if I ever had a kid I would do this and that, and I did, but it turned out to be a soul-eating experience. I can't stand it anymore, and I don't know when or where to cut this off, or if I even should. You know why he's doing it to you? Because he's still putting up with it from your mother. That's why. That's why. Because you're still putting it up with it through your mother. He's treating you like your mother treats you, like your ex-wife treats you. After the divorce, I'm sure your ex-wife put all these thoughts in his head. You ain't shit. He sees how your mother treats you. You put up with it from her. You're going to put up with it from him. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm held hostage by him, my ex-feminarch bitch of a wife, and my narcopath mother. Yeah, you are. You are. Because they raised him to think like they do, not like you do. They'll all tell you that they don't talk behind my back, but somehow information flies at the speed of light when they are involved. Yeah, that's what I told you. I'm honestly afraid of all three of them. I don't want them to ruin his younger brother, who does not seem to have the traits of a narcissist. I don't want to keep him from his family or anything, but he has the last commodity that they would have to exploit. My youngest son, as you know, lives with me, and since I've had primary custody for a while now. As a side note, my oldest son and his mother plotted, I believe, to have him, my oldest son, move in with me while I was in custody court with his mother to gain custody of his younger brother. The reason was his criminal record would bunk the whole thing if I was kind enough to let him move in with me. So he's just nothing more than he's just using pawns. He's already using his brother as a pawn, and your ex-wife is using his criminal record. I mean, it's disgusting. The whole thing is disgusting. You need to be done with all of them. Now I understand you still have your youngest son, but I would be setting up very limited, sticking to the visitation plan he has with his mother, and cut off everything else. Brother's a criminal and dangerous at this point. And I told you, before we even got to this point, I told you this all stemmed from your ex-wife telling him he ain't shit and using him to plot against you the entire time. Both of them angled harder than I've ever seen to make this happen. But as you know, at that time, I, of course, refused to let him move in with me. I'm glad I did, because I almost made that mistake. If I had, they would have used that against me to no end in court. I'm sorry, but I just feel like he's a scumbag. I already know his mother is a scumbag. That's easy. I hate to say it, but I'm sick of him, and I really feel guilty no matter what I do. Our latest falling out was because after he got out of jail and a state-run treatment center, I set him up in an apartment. I paid rent for several months, and now he's out of state correction, and he only gave me most of the rent one time. More than half was from his girlfriend. I feel like he will do something to me. He already confessed to smearing me. He doesn't know what that is, but that's what he did if I don't continue to pay his rent and shut up about it. Because he probably watched your ex-wife bully you for money the entire time. This is what he knows, okay? Sometimes you got to divorce your kids too. I'm afraid he will smear me to his mother and family. Who cares? Smear you how? She's already smearing you. I'm tired of them all thinking I am the one to blame when they are all the ones that are disordered, and God knows if my narco bitch mother would get involved. Legally, there's nothing anyone can do to me, but it drives me crazy knowing they all have it in for me. And it sucks to not have a family on my side or anyone I can visit with my youngest son for the holidays. Of course, my youngest will be at his mother's for some period of time during the holidays. Worried about that too. I feel like I'm surrounded by evil and trying to save myself and my youngest son from these ghouls. It's like the worst game of chess. 3 and a few more against me, my son and wife. Like I always appreciate your insight and look forward to your comments. Anonymous. Look, you're in an advantage because you already have custody of your youngest son. Okay? Your oldest son clearly went over to the dark side. He's a piece of shit. Okay? He's 22. He's in and out of jail, all right? And there's plenty of people that have drug issues. Okay? And it can happen. Okay? This guy, he don't learn anything from going to jail, from his treatment. He comes out and he's just looking to manipulate more and more and more. And where did he learn that from? He learned it from his mother. This is when your kid becomes a bitter ex-wife. Okay? Is he your son or is he your ex-wife? Because he's taken up all the tactics of your ex-wife and your mother. What do you care what they think about you at this point? You're divorced from the narco bitch. You can't stand your mother. I mean, you're barely in any contact with her. What does their opinion really matter at this point? And I know it's easier said than done, but you have to you got to be real about it. Okay? And it sucks. I think I know what your fear is. Your fear is that they're going to eventually trap your youngest son and talk him into moving back over there. Or making some kind of weird accusation. Like, I don't understand. Look, if your son's in and out of jail, in and out of treatment center, the fact that they would listen to anything that he has to say, twerking yourself up and worrying about people that are going to, and I'm going to say, who are going to just take the words of a criminal junkie. What is the point of getting yourself torqued up over that or worrying about it? You have custody of your son. Follow the custody agreement with your ex-wife. I would cut off your other son completely. He's not your problem. Okay? Let his mother handle it. Because he is his mother. His mother made him. She created him. Your mother created him. By telling you you ain't shit. That you don't need to be respected. She tells your kid, the narc tells your kid their whole life. You don't need to be respected. So don't be surprised when you come to this. Okay? And I'm telling you, it's because you continue to put up with this same behavior from your mother, your son continues on because you won't stand up to anybody. You got to stand up to him, you got to stand up to your mother once and for all, and you got to stand up to your ex-wife once and for all. Stop living in fear. You're living in fear of what a junkie criminal's going to do to you. That's how bad the narcissist fucked you up, man. His zero credibility. Like, in the real world, he has zero credibility. You're paying his rent. You've been there for him. Like, even if they tried to pull something with your youngest son in court, who's going to believe this shit? From him, of all people. Gee, I wonder if it's a coincidence that the son that's living with you is okay and the son that lived with her ended up a junkie criminal. I think not. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your contribution and your story. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to help keep it growing, supported, and expanding, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ali Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance.